What is going on, adventurers? Good afternoon from Woodall Trails. Here we have got another episode of Adventure Closet Talk. And if you all did not see the codes there at the beginning to save on your favorite gear, you can go to my YouTube and check the links. And I have affiliate links in there as well, so you can save on all your favorite gear, guys. Okay, guys, so this afternoon we're going to do something a little bit different, a little more personal. I've got my buddy Rich here from West Virginia. We're both very avid backpackers. We get out a little bit. We like to go out and see things, do things most people don't. And we decided we're going to talk to you all about our first backpacking trips today. I'll let him go ahead and introduce himself, tell him about whatever he wants to talk about, and then we'll get into the segment here.
My name's Rich. I live in West Virginia. Met Jonathan, I think, probably one of the West Virginia backpacking Facebook pages last year. We were trying to, Ned that goes with us on these trips too, that's how I met him, through these pages. And we were, basically just trying to get groups of people together, always on there, trying to get people to go out, do trips with us. And Jonathan started responding to, some of our posts on there, and I kind of got to know him that way. So we finally got it arranged where, he could come down. When did we do that trip? Back in March?
Yeah, we did that one back in March.
So we finally got him down here in March to do the cranberry trip.
Yep, the trip from hell. It wasn't that bad.
No. The second day was much better.
Oh, yeah. It was a great trip, though, man. I really enjoyed it. It definitely tested me that first day, and I've only been tested that way about one other time in backpacking. That was the middle of summer when it was 100 degrees.
Yeah. Other than, the temperatures weren't, summertime temperatures, but that was really not a first backpacking trip of the year trip to do, honestly.
No, but it got our feet wet, I guess you could say. It got us into it. Okay, man. So as you already heard there, we're going to talk about our first backpacking trips. You've actually never told me this, so this is going to be a first for me as well. And don't leave any of them little dirty secrets out, man. I want to hear them all.
My first backpacking trip? Yes. Ever. The first one I did, I think, was actually in Cranberry. I'd known a guy from back home that, had talked about going, and it's like, hey, if you ever get your gear together, we'll we'll go sometime. And kind of what got me into backpacking to begin with was I'm, more of a fly fisherman guy, and someone was talking about going in, a section of Cranberry called Dogway to do some native fishing. And, you kind of, it's like, oh yeah, you go in and like camp overnight and backpack in and, fish for natives and stuff like that. And that kind of is what got the seed, planted as far as like me wanting to get into backpacking.
Okay.
So I kind of got my gear together and, talked to this guy, which we didn't fish. We just he planned the route, and we basically went in from the scenic highway and did the Middle Fork Trail all the way through to the bottom. And actually did it in a Enos hammock. So my first trip out was with a hammock.
Was it a double nest or single nest?
It was a single nest.
Oof, that's even. Did you sleep like a banana?
Probably.
But
I toss and turn so much during the night anyway. I end up in that position most of the time. Even in my hammock.
So for y'all out there just joining or listening, we're talking about Rich's first backpacking trip here. He's telling me about how he decided to finally go, and they actually went to the same place that me and him went, to Cranberry, and we're going to go from there. He's telling me about his Eno hammock.
Yeah, it was, I think they had like the one link system, I think they called it, where you got like the hammock and all the stuff came together. The bug net and your rain fly and all that stuff. But yeah, it was, of course, I never sleep good in the woods anyway. I'm just one of those people that's like, I sleep for like half an hour at a time and, constantly wake up through the night. So it wasn't any rougher, my first time out trying to sleep in that thing is what it is for me to try to sleep now, in a hammock. But I am a lot more comfortable now, I will say, than I am in that Eno. But yeah, it even rained on us that night, stayed dry, hiked out. It was, a fairly easy hike. I think we done maybe 11 miles. So it wasn't too bad, but it was, with the grade of the creek, it definitely, we weren't bushwhacking or, going uphill like we were, on our trip.
Anything crazy happen?
Not really. Pretty standard stuff. It was just kind of like just hyped to be out there, doing it, because it's one of those things that I don't know, with like, you kind of, if you've never done it or whatever, looking back now, to the first time I did it, before I did it, it almost seems kind of daunting. Like, oh man, what if this happens? Or, what do I need for this? Or do I have everything I need? Or, which I think leads to overpacking in a sense. That, because you're always like, well, what about this contingency? What about that contingency? And it was, before the days of YouTube where you could kind of get on and like see the gear that, people were using or, recommending.
I think back then all you had was hammock forums and everything. You didn't have all this, which I can't say anything. I'm a newer backpacker here, so I had the enjoyment of having YouTube and being able to have all of that and being able to help me choose my gear. So that right there is definitely something that made it very difficult for you. I don't know if I could have not had because that helped me out a lot.
I had I was working in Morgantown at the time, and close to where I was working at was an outdoor gear place called Pathfinder. So the guys in there kind of helped me out, as far as, the gear, pointing me in the right direction of, some gear that, I'd like, hey, look at this or look at that. This is what you want. So I actually, had that resource going for me. It wasn't going in blind where I showed up at like Walmart and just started picking stuff off the shelf.
Oh man, come on now. That's how you're playing backpacking roulette. Come on.
Well, I didn't have the, I didn't have the break-in experience that Josh and Jason had. On
Yeah,
our
they
last
had
trip.
they had a fun one. Okay, so nothing crazy.
And that was 2007, I want to think, was kind of
Ooh.
mine. So I kind of jumped in like later in life. I'm 50, so I kind of got into it, later in life, which it really wasn't on my radar when I was younger. I know when I was in college, I had a friend who took a spring break, and him and some other people went out to the Grand Canyon. And it was just kind of like, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I didn't really have the bug back then to get out.
We have it today.
Yeah. Back when I was, in better shape, and, my body healed a lot better in my 20s than it does now.
Yeah, for y'all that don't know, me and Rich are both veterans, so we might say our age, but add 10 years onto it because the military does that to you. You automatically age 10 years when you get out, and it's all in your ligaments. So when you wake up in the morning, you stretch, it sounds like firecrackers going off.
Yep.
So first one was about 10 miles. You did it Cranberry. So you ready to hear about mine? Mine's a little crazier than yours. Mine's just a little. I'm gonna let you know. Might wanna buckle in because it's pretty crazy. I don't know if I ever told you this one, but I got the bug. So a lot of people on here, a lot of you all know my story. I had bariatric surgery, lost the weight. It's in the military, gained the weight, kind of got out, gained it, had bariatric surgery, lost it. So I finally decided I was going to go backpacking. I'd gotten into it. I actually got into watching my cousin. I think he had maybe 2 or 3 YouTube videos. I don't know how many he did, but he posted them out there, and I was watching. I was like, man, I'd like to do that. So I kept telling my wife, I'm going to go. I'm getting all the gear. I'm going to go. She's like, you're not going to do it for the entire time. Well, the day come, I was like, well, I'm heading out. She just thought I was going for a day hike. And I told her I was staying overnight. And even my buddy, one of my best friends here in Somerset, not Jeremiah, but went to high school with him. His name's Joby. He even knew it. I sent him the text and my wife a text, basically of the location I was going to. So I get out there, overnighter. I get out there. I'm about 5 miles into the woods, and standard trip. Nothing happened. Hiking. It was a great trip. About 5 miles in, 5 miles out. Back day. Nice, beautiful waterfall. Well, we get to the end of the trip, and I start hearing ding, 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 and it's just going crazy, man. So I open my phone and I look at it. And it's all of them are from my wife, my wife, Brandy, and it's just crazy. She's like, answer your phone. She's like, I'm gonna come out there and get you. You better be safe. Blah, blah, blah. Just giving me the fifth degree, man. I know I'm in for it whenever I see this. I'm like, you know what? I was like, and then the funny thing is, like, she texted my friend Joby, and he's like, he told you he was going out. Why did you not think he was gonna do it?
She didn't like serious.
Well, she didn't think I was gonna do it because I was doing it solo. She don't like me. She does not like me doing stuff solo at all. But
I never done my first solo trip until last year.
And that was my first ever trip, was solo trip. And she don't like me doing solo trip. I like solo for the solidarity. It really helps me get back down to where I need to be. And it's just different than the trips we make. The trips we do are more for camaraderie and friendship and just getting out there and enjoying the nature. When I go on these solo trips, I'm out there. I'm setting a goal and I'm accomplishing that goal. So anyway, so my goal this time is get out there, get back one night, do about 11 miles. I get back and we'll start walking across the road because the trail is across the road and you park across. It's a pretty bad curve right there. I walk across, but and I see this couple. They're looking kind of strange. They're like, just looking around. They're like, I'm like, everything okay? Y'all need help finding something? And they were like, yeah. We're just wondering if it'd be a good idea to park here. And I was like, why is that? She goes, well, there's a couple cars down there that have their windows broken out, and it looks like they've been broken into. And I was like, okay, can you tell me which ones? And first 2 words out of her mouth, well, the first 3 or 4 was, one of them is a blue Kia. What you remember? Did I have that whenever we went on? I don't think we had that. But I had a blue Kia Sportage at the time, and I was coming off trail, and I was like, oh, as soon as they said that, I was like, holy excuse my French, guys. Holy shit. Screw me. I went over there, and of course it was my car. Windshield knocked out. I was like, oh. I didn't have nothing for him to take. I didn't leave nothing in there except for, actually, I left some keyboards from work, some keyboard mice combos from where I work at a school and IT department. They were in there. But anyways, I'm like, okay, they didn't steal nothing. They can't take nothing. I get in there, I start my car, start it, and it goes, whoa, 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 whoa. And when you hear your car running like that, what's your first thoughts?
Out of gas?
No. Catalytic converter, man.
Oh, they took your catalytic converter?
Yes, they got my catalytic converter. Talk about a trip, man.
Yeah, that's tough to top right there.
Yeah, people are like, you still go? I'm like, I mean, I couldn't help it that happened. I mean, that's just something that's gonna happen no matter what. It can happen if you park your car somewhere for an hour. Yeah, I mean, it just depends.
I think about stuff like that when we, go to some of these places.
Yeah, but I mean, I've had no issues since then. That's the only time. But apparently, right there, it's a big issue, and none of that was on All Trails. Of course, once I got done with All Trails, I went and put the review on there. It's like, great trail, great for overnights. Just make sure you park your car somewhere else.
Yeah, definitely.
And let's just say I got home and my wife was like, "You deserve it." Oh, but yeah, man, it was
be more supportive.
Oh,
that's one thing you were talking. That's one thing you were talking about too. A newer YouTuber.
It's like Jason got on, Mr. Jason from our backpacking trip. He's here. What's up, Jason? Nice. He actually just went to the gorge over the 4th of July weekend. I wanted to go, but you already knew I had that hang planned. But he went down there, and it looks like he had a really good time. But yeah, man, my first trip definitely broke me in the hard way. It was
something you were talking about being like motivated with like YouTube. Like I kind of use that now for stuff. Like I'll start watching videos of different, people that I watch on there, and it definitely motivates you to get out there.
Yes, it does. And I actually use a lot of them to help me build my trips. I mean, I'm like, man, that is a beautiful area. I'm like, I want to go there. That's usually I'll see where they went, and I'll make my own route, like what we did. You made that route, and that one was crazy, but it ended up being a good one. But yeah. So my first trip was that. So when you got done hiking, did you have any thoughts of why did I do this? Why am I doing this? Like, I don't think I'm ever going to do this again.
I just remember I wasn't in bad shape, but I wasn't in hiking shape. Like, for the longest time until like I made, I was like, I'm going to get out there, and I'm going to, walk and put the time in. And because it was like, I would like, yeah, we'll go backpacking. Me and Pat would go down Seneca Creek or someplace like that. More of, which I kind of got him hooked through fly fishing too. Kind of tricked him into backpacking almost. But we would go down in and like, I know like the next day or the day after coming out, like the trip in wasn't that bad, but I pay for it coming out. And I mean, from like Judy Springs that we did out, it's not that bad.
No, and it was
like
beautiful.
That was the only time I was going out and doing that, so I wasn't putting in the prep work between trips. So I'd pay for it for a couple days thereafter. But now, I'm in a lot better, shape, at least for, putting the miles in, the walk.
Getting ready to say you're about almost 20, just 15 years older than I am, and you keep up with me just fine. Sometimes I think I'm breathing heavier than you are.
Well, I got to put the time in to do it, and I can't, let a week or two go by. I kind of feel it, when I don't get out there and walk. Like I think this week alone, I've or since the beginning of July, just walking my neighborhood, I've put in 22 miles just in the evening, stuff like that. Just, to keep myself at a certain level. So when I do get out there and backpack, I'm not, dragging ass.
So Jason put out there, Judy Springs was nice and easy. Yeah, we didn't. We didn't get to do that when he did it, but you've actually done that, haven't you? That part of it when they walk through the creek.
Yeah,
that was.
From the falls up to Judy Springs.
Yeah, that was. I might have to go back. We have to go back there and do that again. Go through try a different route again. That was a beautiful area. I liked it a lot. But anyone else is out there wants to get in here and join us, I put the link there in the chat. You can click on it and join us here and talk about your first backpacking trip and your experiences. We'd be more than happy to give you your time to tell us. It's what we're here for. I want to hear and listen. I'm here to listen to you all. I like to start conversations and keep them going, but I'm trying to learn how to listen. So that's what we're going to do. But anyways, man, you was telling me staying in shape and staying in shape for walking around your neighborhood and all that. I'm the same way, man. So my first ever big backpacking trip was Dolly Sods, and it was roughly almost 2 years ago now. But that was one of the hardest hikes I'd done to date, and I had to prep for it. And I knew I had to prep for it because the guy that I was going with he was a little bit older than me, but he was about 60 pounds lighter and could definitely, and was an avid hiker. He had actually hiked Mount Whitney and everything out on the West Coast. So he'd done quite a bit. But so that was my first trip, my first huge trip, and I had to prep for it, like you were saying. I was walking at least 2 to 3 miles a day, and I was trying to get my mileage try to get it as close to 15 minutes a mile as I could. I have not done that since. I mean, I feel like now that I keep my trail legs pretty easily, but I have actually started back. I've made a few new goals for this year since I had the goal of the Sheltoe, and you know what happened there. The tornado came through, and I almost got whisked away to Oz. So
in a shitter.
Yeah, in a shitter. Believe it. But yeah, so shoot, lost my train of thought there.
I'll tell you the one thing that's helped me a lot is when going over to trail runners, man.
Oh yeah, man.
That has helped because I have a lot of trouble with my feet, and those, help a lot. They're a lot more comfortable than any boot I've ever worn. And you just got get used to the wet feet.
Yeah, that's something I've had to get used to. And it don't bother me anymore because once you get, I walk straight through the creek now because it's going to dry within, the first, hour or two. They're going to be dry. And then once you get to camp, just take them off and put your camp shoes on. Yeah. So we got Jason back here.
I'm just used to wet feet anymore.
Yeah. We got Jason here. He says he's going to go back in Camp Judy Springs to go see the crash.
Nice.
Without all the gear. I hear you, man. We need to get back out there, man.
At least leave his kitchen at home.
We need to take you all to Dolly. Dolly's actually, I would think that Dolly is easier than Seneca myself, just because if you go the right way, like I ain't gonna lie, we had a lot of
Dolly is.
Yeah, because we started up at the upper part of Dolly at the what is it, Bear Creek,
Bear Rocks.
Bear Rocks, yeah. We started up at Bear Rocks, and we went down and then came back up, and it was like, I didn't think it was that difficult.
There's some sections, depending on where you do it from. That was another trip that, like, me and my wife had done when the first time we went to Dolly Sods. Because we didn't do like the field part, the northern Dolly Sods. We parked at, like, the trailhead at Red Creek and, like, went up Big Stone Coal.
Mm-hmm.
She was in bed. This is how bad, this is from couch to going out, how bad a shape I was. Like, we went up Big Stone Coal, and, like, she was like half a mile in front of me and had to come back to make sure I was okay.
Is that your wife?
Yeah. That's how bad. Like looking back now, it's like, oh my god, I can't believe what was I thinking?
Oh,
But there are you got a little bit of elevation. I think that trail, if you do it from the bottom up, it's not too steep, but steep enough. It's about a mile or so. You got to be fairly good condition to do it. But I think anything in northern Dolly where you're just kind of going through the fields up there it's not bad. You don't have much up and down at all.
no. So Jason put out there, he's like, you can't say that those deer tacos weren't any good. I'm going to tell you right now, man, they were good. And you worked for those deer tacos, and I thank you for that. And next time, maybe we could bring real food to a shorter trip, and everybody carries something, and we each make something that we like to make. Maybe do something kind of like that.
We'll do like a car camping trip or something.
Yeah, man. When I go kayak camping or car camping, dude, I'm making biscuit, gravy, eggs, tenderloin, and everything else for breakfast. Making it all over the fire. Actually, I just did that when me and my wife went. I didn't do it. This is the hang because they provided breakfast and all that. But when we went to this kayaking trip where we camped it right there at the campground, each morning I made biscuits and gravy and eggs and deer tenderloin.
Now, what'd you make your biscuits in?
I have the titanium bowl for like noodles and the small skillet. What I do is I put in the biscuit, I get the small tea biscuits and I put 4 of them inside of that frying pan. Then I use the bowl as a lid on top of it. Then I just set it right on the fire and it makes itself like an oven.
Okay. Like the Pillsbury style?
I actually buy these from the freezer, and I can't remember, like Mrs. B's or something like that. It literally says tea biscuits on them.
Okay.
They only get about that big is all they do. So, I mean, but I get those, and you can actually divvy them out. They come like 24 of them. So if you're doing like several days, it's okay. But, I mean.
But they are actually something you have to bake.
Yeah, you have to bake them. Yeah, these actually bake them. They're really good. And then I just buy, this regular old sausage gravy in the can from Kroger. It's the easiest. Just set it right beside the fire, let it heat up. Man, usually, man, like I've got now, I'll make like for suppers and stuff. I'll make like steak, and then I make like a shrimp boil that's in the little full packets, and then apple bake. I'll make that. I have
noticed that on the few trips I've done with you. I have noticed that you're more of a, you bring real food with you when you come.
If we're going to do anything less than probably 10 miles a day, I prefer to have real food. I ain't going to lie. Especially if it's going to be nice weather, too, and I know that we can have a fire. I'm not going to lie, man. That's why when you come down, we might not do as long of a trip just because we'll go to the gorge. We'll try to get as much in as we can. And if y'all, Josh and Mr. Jason out there, they're going to K Run in the morning, but Mr. Jason and Josh, we got Rich coming down. When's it going to be, man? I think it's the end of
the last day of this month, into that weekend.
Yeah. So, Jason, so if you're down, man, Rich is going to come to Kentucky the end of this month, and we're going to do a trip to the gorge. Won't be. I think we'll actually might just go somewhere and like do like camp, like get one place and camp, and then do day hikes out of there. That'd probably be the best way, I think, because then you can just stay there each day and you come back. I'll get with Jeremiah and see if we can start working something up. I know he'll want to go. I know it, and then we actually probably might be able to get all of them, get most of the guys to go. It's just their schedules.
Yeah, I texted Ned and let him know, and he was asking me questions about it. So I guess we'll figure out whether or not he's coming down or not.
Looks like Jason's down, so
nice.
That means Josh will be there too, and then see if I can get a few more of the guys from around here. We have a couple more YouTubers, and then a few other people. See if we can get a nice little group, at least 4 or 5, maybe 6 people. I don't know where we'll go to. I know a really good place is out in the Star Gap Arch area. There's a nice place out there. It's kind of off the path. Nice big area where you can camp with, several people. And then it's not hard to get to, like, you can go to you can make a pretty good sized loop out of there and go around and see a lot of stuff and come back.
Now, as far as backpacking, what was the group? What was the biggest group you've ever been in?
Biggest group I've ever. Oh Lord, that was probably the YouTuber hang up last fall.
Okay.
When we hiked that day, I think there was probably 10 or 11 of us, and there was probably over 20 to 30 people there. We were all at Hanson's. We're all at Hanson's Point. It's probably one of the biggest places in the gorge that people like to go to. It's kind of like what's the one out there at Dolly Sods?
You mean the biggest area, most popular area, or
yeah, up there on the mount. Why does my mind go blank? Everybody goes up there and takes the picture. The mountain, man.
Yeah, I think I know where you're talking. Is it off of
the top of Dolly Sods, man, up there that everybody goes to?
Oh, Spruce Knob.
Yeah, not Spruce Knob.
Or no,
the
that was
iconic picture.
Seneca.
The iconic picture.
Is that off like the Rocky Point Trail or whatever it's called?
Yeah, it's the one that you got to go all the way to the top, and then it's got either you can do the rock scramble up to the top of it, or you can go the back way.
The Lion's Head.
Yeah, Lion's Head. Man, I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I mean, I was like, I'm trying to describe it to him here. I know he knows it. But yeah, Lion's Head, man. It's kind of like the Lion's Head of the gorge. Everybody goes out there. It's the place you go to. I mean, awesome view, and they got a big open area up there right before you get there where everybody can camp. That's why they usually do it there for the people who do all the YouTube, because we usually have 20 or 30 people come. I would guess it was my first one last year, but they'll be doing it again this year. They usually do it every year in the fall. But I'd say that's my biggest hiking / meetup camping that wasn't car camping, because I actually hiked into there. I parked a little bit further away the night before and hiked in, done a little bit of night hiking in because I got there late. And then the next day I hiked back to my car and drove it back to where everybody else was. Once we got done with hiking Indian Staircase and all that.
I think the Seneca Creek trip was the biggest group.
And you see Jason there. He said two years ago there was a lot more people there, which there might be more this year. Usually the lady who normally does it, her name's Nicole Hawks a lot. She's usually the one who plans it, and she couldn't be there this year. I don't remember exactly what for. So it was actually spearheaded, I think, by John Kelly and Jeremiah, but I do not know if that's correct or not. Jason might know a little bit better than I do.
That's a YouTuber meetup?
Yeah, it's the fall YouTuber meetup. It's usually got ones from Ohio, mainly Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah, Jason, I've seen that. She said she's going to be back this year. She seems really nice, man. I haven't got to meet her. I've seen her stuff on Facebook and commented, and she comments on my stuff. She seems like a really, really nice person.
I think now you said her name. I see her come up in like the people you may know on Facebook all the time.
Yeah, she's she's an outdoor. I don't know if I can't remember if she has her own YouTube. I know she does a lot with Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. I'm sure she has a YouTube. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I just found Ben's YouTube the other day.
His
Ben McMillan.
Oh yeah, the podcast
his actual YouTube, like his Ben McMillan YouTube.
Oh, I didn't even know he had one of those. See? Yeah,
man, and he you need to go out there. I shared his video on my Facebook. Go to my Facebook when you get off here. Find his video. Watch it, dude. Like, it's awesome. I posted out there because I was like, this is why I told her. I put on there. This is the reason I go hiking. This is the exact reason. This is why I do that. And he called it earning the view is the name of the show, the video.
Is that from awesome. Is that from his Arkansas trip?
Yes. Oh, it's Mark. Mark, I just met Mark at the last hang. He's actually next year. He's already said that we're going to go. Have you ever heard of Helen, Georgia? It's very big for Helen, Georgia. It's very big for. It's very big for like Oktoberfest. It's one of the largest in the U.S.
It's in Georgia, though.
Yes.
Okay.
But he said there's a place there he's going to take me to go fishing next year in the lake over there. We went to Lake Bryant, which is he said it's the ritzy area. It's the rich people area. And I ain't gonna lie, swimming there, some of them houses I knew they had to be rich. And then when he told me that Alan Jackson lives there, and so does Nick Saban, and several other Division I head football coaches from around the area, I knew right then. I was like, ooh, yeah. I was like, yep, that's definitely the ritzy area.
And it's public?
It is a public lake, and the beach is actually really nice that they have there. It's not very huge, but the swimming area is like really flat and it's sandy. Like when you're walking in sand, it's almost like a beach, and about 3/4 of the way out only goes up to your chest. Pretty good place to go swimming. He said it's a German town with a lot of German style buildings, and he is not lying. One of my guy I went to high school with, he has a YouTube, and their big thing is they go out and like go to different areas around the U.S. and do different festivals and stuff like that. It's just a travel channel. It's all they do, highlighting places that they go. But they went there, and they went there for Oktoberfest, and it's actually pretty cool. Okay, he said if it's very similar to Gatlinburg. I'm sure. Have you been to Gatlinburg?
Yeah,
very similar. I would say with me, I would say it's closer to Leavenworth, which is out in Washington. But not a lot of people have ever been there. It's middle of nowhere. It's actually some of the best German food I've eaten in the U.S. They have really good Spätzle, really good sausage, blood sausage. If you've ever heard of that, a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah, my wife went to Ohio State, so she still has some friends in Columbus. So when we go up there, I make her take me to Smith's Sausage House up there, German place in German Village. Is pretty good.
Later, Jason. Take it easy, man. Yeah.
See you, man.
We've talked here for a pretty good while, man. This has been a pretty good.
Yeah.
We got off topic a little bit, but I mean, we kind of got through that first topic pretty quickly. So I guess I'll tell you my thoughts and when I got done with my trip, and if it was going to keep me from going anymore. I guess we already know it wasn't going to keep me from going. I got the bug like you got the bug as well, and man, I'm always looking for time to go. Actually, Jason got off here, but I might text him. They're wanting to go down to tomorrow to Cave Run. And I might go just hit him up. I might just hit him up and go down there just to stay one night and come back home because Saturday we got that thing. But I mean, man, it's killing me. I haven't got out to do a solo trip in about a month now, and I'm like, I need to get out. I need to get some miles in. I've had these leisure trips, and I don't know why, man, but I just love getting out, and I like the high mileage trips. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was. Last year, was the first time that I did like a, multiple day by myself on Laurel Highlands. Because I did like half of that. It's 70, for those not familiar, it's 70 miles end to end in PA. And you have like shelter areas that you got to stay in along the way.
Yeah, they call it the baby AT.
Yeah, so I did like half of that trail over like 3 or 4 days. And it was one of them things like before you do it, it's like, oh my God, the thought of doing that. And then after you're just, it's getting out there and doing it, man. Proving to yourself you can do it.
Yep. Yeah, you're talking about the Laurel Highlands and Long Trail and all that. So I think we get started on this earlier with me talking about the Sheltoe Trace and how the tornado took it out, and I can't really complete that trail this year. Don't worry, I'm going to complete it. I've got several miles already completed on it. I could add it up. I probably have less to complete than I know because I've done so much of it just doing the normal trips that I do. I'll never be able to do it all in one until I basically retire, until I can get a whole week or two off work. But I've decided that I'm going to do the Foothills Trail, man.
How long is it?
It is 73 or 77 miles. It's 70 miles, a little over 70 miles. So, but I'm going to do that one Labor Day weekend. I've already decided. And I'm going to do it from this year. And it's going to be a Friday. I'm going to go Thursday afternoon. I'm going to do Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then be back out of the woods Sunday.
How many miles does that put you at each day?
I'm shooting 20 miles a day, man.
20 miles a day?
I'm probably going to take Monday off as well, just in case I can't get all the way through on Sunday, because I know it'll be a short day on Monday. But Jason Wahala or Jason Flowers from Wahala Hammocks, we were talking down there. He's like, man, I can give you a shuttle down there. I was like, you know what? That's one that's on my list. So I told the wife, I put it on the calendar. I was like, I'm doing it. And I'm going to prep for it. I've already started walking more than I was trying to prep for it, but I'm going to do a couple of longer through hikes as well. I'm going to do one Pine Mountain Trail in Eastern Kentucky. It's like a 200-mile trail or 100-something mile trail, but I'm going to do about 30 miles of it. There's a section I'm going to do there to help prep, and then I'm going to go up and do the Knobstone Trail in Indiana. It's 50 miles. I'm going to do those two, and then hopefully it'll have me enough prepared to do the other one. I'm doing these in 1 week. I'm doing them in just a weekend.
So how many trips do you think you'll do this year?
Like I said, man, I shoot for at least 2 trips a month.
Are you on average now?
Yeah, I'm at least 2. Sometimes I'm getting 3. It just depends. And if I'm taking my wife or my daughter, I get more in. Because I'll usually take 1 or 2, just me, or going with you buddies, and then I'll try to do 1 or 2 with them, or do something with the family.
Yeah, I think actually 7 last year was the most I'd done. So my last year was kind of like my best year backpacking.
I don't know how many I got in last year. I mean, I've got several. I guess you could go back there and look. Almost all of mine are on videos, so you can probably see. I don't know how. I would say I've done at least between 7 and 10 last year. I'm trying to shoot between 10 and 20 a year is what I like to do.
Yeah.
But, life happens and you don't always get to do that.
Yep. I haven't done as many up to date as I did like at this point last year. And, but I've done more fishing trips this year. So I've got more fishing in this year.
See, I did a little more kayaking last year, but I'm just not able to do it this year because I got that in my new car and it don't have a hitch on it, so I can't really get my kayaks out. But I'll get them out a little bit more. I took them over to Jeremiah's house, and he lives right on the lake, so he's getting to use them, and then I get to go over and go out with them and stuff. So we're going to do that this summer. What little bit of summer we have left. Mark, you said you want to join me? How do you want to do it, man? Because I tell you, I'm going to be booking it. I'm trying to finish in 3.5 days. But if you want to join you, man, just hit me up and we'll work out the details. I'm still, like I said, it's just something I've decided in the last 3 or 4 days. So we've still got a little bit of planning to do on it. I think you got to pay for parking at either Table. I think I'm going to do the normal route. People started at Coney down there and they end at Table Rock. So it goes easier that way, because if you start at Table Rock, you're going like this on the first day, instead of if you end on Table Rock, you're going like this on the last day. I'd much rather go down than up.
I don't know. Sometimes up is easier on the knees, especially at the end of the day.
True that. You're right there. I ain't gonna lie. That's one of the reasons. That's about the only reason I use trekking poles, is because going down stuff by knees, man. And I'm 15 years younger than you, and I just can't, that's why at the end of the day, I usually take between 800 and 1,000 milligrams of ibuprofen, just because I know if I don't, the next day I'm not going to be able to move.
Oh, yeah. So I know we got the Kentucky trip coming up. What else we going to try to do? Try to get a fall one in before the end of the year?
Yeah, I want to do another. They're wanting to get back. I'm trying to get. Trying to get Jason from Backpacking with Jason, Mr. Jason Wall. I'm gonna see if he can try to get out there, man. I'd like to get him and Jeremiah and a few of the other guys out there and do another West Virginia trip. Maybe try to get Ben too this fall. Try to go.
We talked about Roaring Plains, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Roaring Plains, somewhere around there, man. I'll go to that whole area.
Yeah, I really want to do. I think it's North Fork Mountain, but like I said, it's one of those where you have to work out logistically. I think do a water drop on it because it's pretty much dry from end to end. But it's from what I hear, it's probably got the best views.
But you said it's dry on end to end.
What's that?
So that's a water carry all the way through.
I think I've heard people talk about being able to do a water drop somewhere.
Okay.
About midway, but I have to check into it to see. I haven't completely done all my research on it yet. But like it's basically like, from Seneca Rocks down that way or towards Seneca Rocks. So you're basically overlooking that valley the whole way. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. I want to do another fall trip out there. And then he ain't on here, but I need to get up. I'm trying to get up to Pennsylvania and do something with Dave up there eventually. He's wanting to get all of us Kentucky boys up there and do something. That'll be a heck of a trip. I don't know if that'll happen this year, just because it's going to be several hour drive. And I don't know if I don't know if I'll make fall mall haul. I want to, but I don't know yet. That's too far out for me to be able to tell. And it's also around the same time as
to stay at my house.
It's also around the same time as the fall YouTuber meetup. So that's just one of them ones I'll have to wait until I can see what all the other stuff that's planned out.
Hopefully I'll have a Yobo by then.
Oh, man, I'm going to tell you, that Yobo, it changes the game, man. And if you get that nice. And that pre-silk tarp, I ain't going to lie. It was very, very nice having that tarp in that stand when I was down there in South Carolina.
Who's your tarp through?
That tarp is made by Pre-Silk. It's only an $80 tarp off Amazon.
And it comes with the bug net already on it.
Yep, comes with everything. And I altered it a little bit. I added toggles on it because I didn't like what they had, and I took off their two split ridgeline cords and put better on it because they had real thick cordage, and I didn't want it that thick.
Now, is that going to be something for like specifically for hangs? Or are you going to try to take that tarp out and backpack with it? Nah,
I ain't backpacking with that, man. That sucker's over 2 pounds.
Is it 2 pounds?
Yeah. So, no, I'll probably, until I can get something, eventually I'm probably going to get something from Jason or Dutch for my tarp. I know Jason has several that I like that are nice and they're very lightweight. So that'll be my next big item, but I've got so much stuff now. I'm trying to slow down, but we know how that is. That don't always happen that way.
Yeah, my little table came today actually that I ordered like yours.
Oh man! So I'm going to tell you, go ahead and tuck the nut that's on the top, that's on the table on the bottom side. Go ahead and take it off because I'm going to take mine off and put you some Loctite on it because that sucker right there loosens all the time on me.
Does it?
All right. I'm going to get me some Loctite and put on mine.
I remember when we first went out, I was thinking those things are so gimmicky.
Oh, but no, man.
But then, I saw you use it and then, bending over to the ground to, set up your stove and cook and stuff like that. I was like, okay, yeah, I can definitely see a use for that thing.
Yeah, that's what, when me and Jazzy on that trip to Indian Staircase, we were down there at the creek, and I didn't really have nowhere to stick it in the ground, but there were several big rocks there, so I just put it in between the rocks. And one of these guys, he came by, he's like, that's a nice table. I've never seen that before. I told him about it. I was like, dude, he's like, I won't go nowhere with it no more. Like I said, what's it weigh, a pound? Something like that, a little over a pound. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was surprised when I opened it up and took it out. I was surprised at how light it actually was.
And you can make it lighter. You don't really need 4. You can get by with 3.
Yeah. And you could probably lighten up not even the case it came in. You could probably put it in like a lighter,
Yeah, you could definitely have. I mean, I know who could make a case, and he lives up there in Pennsylvania. He's not on here, but Mr. Ben McMillan can definitely could make a case for it.
Yeah, I actually got our Seneca trip. I actually got to go out and use some of the stuff that he made for me for my fly rod and my reel and stuff like that. And
yeah, I seen that.
To hook it onto my pack. So it worked out really well. And he had made that for me probably a year before last. And that was the first time I'd actually got to use it on that trip.
So Mark here said he liked the turtle bug stand. I'm gonna tell you, man. Jason let him borrow one of his, and I'm just gonna tell you, it changes the game for me. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it takes a hammock to a tent. Basically, I don't need trees. I can put my hammock anywhere. If I want to set up in the middle of the field so I can see I have the best view of the sunset, I can do it. So that's one of the big reasons why I like it, man. That's one of the main reasons I will keep it. And I'll probably eventually I'll probably end up getting the Hive. Yes, I know they're expensive as can be, but if I can ever find one, I don't care if it's used or not, for half the price, I'll definitely pick it up just because you can hang 2 hammocks from it. And that right there would give me the ability to have 4 hammocks and not have to use trees. And
most of those were sold out. I was kind of surprised that like the more expensive ones were sold out.
I don't know if they're sold out or if they've redone them. They've redone the design on them and reduced the weight a little bit, and they haven't got done with production yet.
Okay. I know I think they had them maybe labeled on the website as being sold out.
And I think that's the only reason is because they just haven't got enough of them produced yet.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Aaron's on here. Mr. Aaron from Kentucky. I don't know if you watched my video. That's how he said it. But he is one of the other ones who talked about the Yobo stand. He's like, nah, get it. He's like, I'm just going to tell you. He actually goes to the gorge quite a bit too. He's someone else I could get to go with us. He's up there quite a bit. He's like one of my other buddies. He lives less than probably 30 minutes, less than an hour from the gorge. So that's another one we can get to go with us as well. He's always looking to find people to backpack with. He's kind of like me. It's hard to find people sometimes with, used to be like me. I mean, it's hard to find people who want to go and do the stuff that you want to do. I got lucky and met Jeremiah, and our schedules normally line up, so it's usually good with us.
That was my big problem. I think early on when I first kind of got into it and started getting the gear, because I really didn't know. A lot of my friends group really wasn't into it, and I kind of had the mindset of everything that I bought was like I would buy stuff for like 2 people. Mm-hmm. That way, that at least they would be like, couldn't have the excuse of like, oh, I don't have the stuff to go. I could be like, well, I can outfit you, which now I could probably outfit 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, I could do at least 3, and if I get another backpack, I could definitely probably do 4.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to get to. Because if 4 setups, I could take my entire family eventually. Once my youngest gets old enough.
And then they're going to want their own gear too.
Then they can buy it.
Yeah. Get them set up with it. Here's your base. I mean, make any alterations, it's on you.
Which my wife, my wife will eventually go to a gathered in, is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna get her in a gathered in just because I'll eventually get that. Like I said, I'll get that hive stand, so that way we can hang together and have our own little. Did you watch the hang video I made?
I haven't seen your newest one yet. I'll probably watch it tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah. When you watch it, look at that the hot tent that Aaron has on his wife's setup. Man, that thing is amazing. Jason had it on his too, and actually, Jason, he can modify it just to make it a little bit better.
Is it like a hammock hot tent?
Very similar. It's a one Tigris.
I think I've seen those before. They were using it with a hammock, though, right?
Yes, they were using it with a hammock, but it's specifically made to work. It can work with the hive.
Okay. There's so many options out there.
Okay, Mr. Dirtbound there. We are talking about the dandelion table, and it is awesome. Fire Maple makes it. Look them up. Rich actually seen mine when we were on our trip in Cranberry, and I'm just going to tell you, it beats having to make your coffee on the ground, or even just getting to eat dinner on it. I mean, it's just nice. You can set your food down. You ain't got to sit. You don't have to sit your stuff on the ground. That's the main reason. I hate picking stuff up from the ground, especially whenever it's been sitting there. And the ground's wet. It gets that wet dirt on the bottom of it or whatever. So
and Amazon has them right now for the Amazon days or whatever it's called.
Oh, Prime deal? What's the price on it right now?
I think I picked it up for like $31.
Dude, I think I paid way more than that. I can't remember. I know it was cheaper than the Schwartz Bienne, but I think I paid $45 for it.
Okay.
But it's the Fire Maple Dandelion table, Mr. Dirtbound there. We have it's the Dandelion table by Fire Maple, and if you're looking at them, I would go ahead and look at their G3 pot with the Hornet 2 stove. It's awesome. That's what I use as my stove and pot kit. I won't change unless they come out with something that's better. I won't change it just because it's awesome. Mr. Aaron said he has a ton of gear, and anyone that wants to join a hang, he can help. Yeah, anybody who wants to come along, I mean, you can message any of us here. I mean, all these guys are friends with me on Facebook. You all can find us on there. I mean, we're all this whole community, the whole hiking community. That's what we're about. We want to get people out. We know what nature does for people, and it's one of the things that I'm trying to show people of what nature can do for you. There we go. Mr. Mark told us there's $31.96. Is that what you're saying? I'm guessing that's the price of it. That's the price of it. Man, I ain't gonna lie, that's a good deal. I'd pick it up. I actually got some stuff off of Amazon today. I told you I had to get a new action cam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one. The old one, it still works, but it's going to end up. I'm actually going to move that one. It's a lot more better. It's a lot better suited for. I'm going to use it inside the car as my dash cam.
Now this one you got's waterproof, right?
Yes, this one is completely waterproof, unlike the last one. This one I think I can drop it 5 meters in water without the case, and it's fine. The last one was not, and it was getting water down in the top, and it was making the screen go out. Eventually, the screen was going to go out. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to have to find something else."
That's the one that was on the magnet.
Yes.
Okay.
I got the same.
You almost lost that thing in Cranberry.
I've almost lost it several times, man. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, we got to do another Cranberry trip so you can go up and get your dog leash.
There we go. Aaron told us it's the Cause Shack by One Tigress.
Okay.
They're pretty cool, man. Okay, guys. So we got a couple of minutes here. Oh, Mr. Aaron, he says, and I'm a gear junkie. I hear you, man. I've got a closet full of stuff, and I think I keep adding more and more stuff. That's what we do around here. If you're anywhere on YouTube backpacking, you're definitely a gear junkie.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Rich has more gear than I do when it comes to backpacking.
I got too many hobbies. Along with backpacking, I go between that and fly fishing and hunting and everything else. I
hear you, man. I got
get the new stuff.
You gotta get into kayaking, man. That's the other thing. I don't fly, but I don't fly fish. I do fish. I have a lot of fishing gear. I don't fly fish, but I have kayaking gear.
We're gonna get a fly rod in your hand one of these days.
I don't know, man. Give me a spinning reel with one of them with something on it, and I guarantee you I can get them trout just as easy.
But it's not as fun.
So, Mr. Mark, yeah, we were making a video for if you go watch the new video of the Who Hang, Aaron is in there. He's actually telling us about his setup and the modifications he made on his stand, and he showed us his wife's setup, and then he also showed us Brian's setup and the modifications he made on his. And actually, man, I'm gonna tell you, watch Brian's setup when you watch the video. Rich, when you watch that video, watch Brian's setup because he's actually made his to where he can use it on concrete year round. He ain't got to use any stakes, nothing.
Nice.
So he's a firefighter, and he uses it year round in the firehouse. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I'm going to do several of those modifications. Hear that? Jason says we're YouTube stars, Aaron. We are YouTube stars, buddy. The boys from Kentucky that nobody can hardly ever understand. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna get off here. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. This was a great episode. It's probably the most people we've had in here and the most interaction we've had from the audience. I want to thank everybody for getting in here and being that way. It's awesome. We got up to 5, maybe more, and I've had a lot more people in here talking. So I'm going to say that this is getting to be more successful, and I hope to see more people in here next week. And guys, we just want to grow. I want to get people in here, and like I said, I put the link out there every time for the episode to get people in here. So if you want to get in here next time, you can go back up here and you can see in the chat where I put the link in there. And if you all want to get in, you just let me know and I'll put the link in the chat so that way you can get in there. That's what I want to do here. The accomplishment of this podcast live stream, however you want to say it, Adventure Closet Talk is for you all. I want to get in here and get to know you all. I brought Rich in. I brought Jeremiah in. We're talking about stuff that we've done together, experiences we had. But I want to get you all in here. I mean, we can talk about anything outdoors. That's what this is for. I want to hear your experiences with the outdoors and how it's made you as a person grow. That's what this is for. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about gear. We're going to talk about everything with backpacking, and then that's basically what I want to do. I want to get everyone. I mean, I'll invite someone each week, but I do want to get audience in here too. So
you know something, Jonathan, that you could use this platform for is, we were talking about finding people to go out and do this with. Use this as a resource to try to maybe meet people to get together and do trips with.
Of course, man, and that's what I'm hoping from this. I want to get to meet new people. Make new friendships, and because we all have, if you're in here, we all have similar interests. You either love the outdoors and backpack, or you just love the outdoors and camp. I mean, either way, that's awesome. I love to backpack and I love to camp. They have their purposes, and that's why. And that's what I want to accomplish by this, is just bringing a group of people together who have the same similar interests and talk about our interests. But guys, enough of me rambling on here. We're going to end this on boat stuff. If you don't know what that is, guys, I want you all to look that song up. Yes, it does say boat stuff, not what you are going to think it's going to say. But guys, on that note, listen to that song, and I hope to see all of you all back on the podcast next week, back on the Closet Talk. Next week, we're going to talk about the hang. We're going to talk about Who Hang, and I'm going to see if I can get Mr. Jason from Walhalla in here and see if we can talk about the hang and about how it's come along. It is not the first annual. I think it's the second. We're going to talk about it. We'll talk about it and all of that and all the stuff that we got to do there and all the fun stuff. But guys, we're going to get off. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to let Rich say his goodbyes here.
Yeah, it was a great time. Thanks for having me on. Glad to talk about, my experiences out there. Like I said, hopefully, we meet some people doing this, gives us more options to, someone to go out and do stuff with. And hopefully I'll, see some of you guys out there on the trail sometime.
I'm sure you'll get to meet some of these people. I like to bring people together. Like I said, I brought Jeremiah and us up there, and then I'm going to get you to come down here. Maybe when we get you to come down here, I'll get my Kentucky boys involved.
All right.
Maybe then they'll be like, I ain't got to drive 7 hours. Let's do it.
Try to get Ned out.
Next Thursday, yes, Mike, or Mark, my bad, sorry. I don't know why I said Mike, but next Thursday, Mark, yes, we'll be back on next Thursday, and we will talk about the Who Hang. And guys, on that note, I want y'all to keep adventuring, get out there on trail, just get outdoors, guys, and I'm going to get off here, and I'll see y'all next week. Y'all take it easy.